All right, guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the Unconventional Mindset. My name is Odum, and as always, we get together right here on YouTube every Monday through Friday as we figure out how to build ourselves a business which is going to generate us $1 million in revenue every single year. And we're working on Pixel Pieces, which is our Webflow template and component library where people can join in, become a member, and access the components that we are building. And to that end, we are going to be adding, as it says in the description or the title or whatever, we want to be able to filter out our CMS collections based on specific, parameters or whatever that the components have, right? So we have layout options and element options, which we designed this in Figma yesterday, and we kind of like this layout and this kind of look, and we're going to go ahead and take that and apply it to the actual application. So I actually did let's get in here. I started it a little bit here this morning, and I figured we'd just jump right into developing the whole filtering capability. And we're going to be using CMS filter for this. So this, of course, is not going to be like a full-blown tutorial. And there's actually a video. I have this open here, which is probably the best. If you're looking to understand how to use CMS filter, just type this in, CMS filter, Webflow CMS complex filter through FinSuite. This tutorial just walks you through the whole thing, which is super amazing. So you'll be able to filter out anything. So I just have it open in the background in case we need to reference it, but then we have the documentation right here. So this is what we're doing. And what we need to have here is basically everything that you're filtering all needs to be wrapped around one form. So all of the filtering options as well as the collection that is being filtered needs to be in one form, because that way whenever you're selecting any of the checkboxes or radials or whatever, that's what's getting filtered. So what I've done is I have the form filter right here, or the form, and then we have a drop down, and in the drop down is where I'm putting the options of filtering, and then below that is this is the filtered stuff here. This is what's going to be displayed, right? So so I'm not sure if drop down is going to be the best thing for this, but for now it seems to be. I think it's gonna work. Anyways, so if we just go in here, we let's just take a look at the drop down. Let's just show it because we need to see kind of what's going on here. And so far what I've done is I've done the layout, and what I've done is have the align left, align center, align right, and that's just in a collection here in a checkbox, which actually just has the actual the text here. And I guess we can take a look at the actual collection to see what updates I've made. So I've basically added a number of columns collection, a media alignment collection, a text alignment collection, and then elements as well too. So all of these things are being referenced in the component collection. So it's going to be filtered by this, right? So if we look in our custom fields here for each component, it has an elements which is a multi-reference. So, if it's a checkbox, or if it has a list, or if it has a button, or, text only, stuff like that. Then we have the text element, which is just if it's text aligned left or right or center. And same thing with the number of columns, and of course the media alignment as well too. Let's just kind of organize this in a way that I like. All right, so let's just save that. And so here we go. And so what I've done now is I just had this filter. So I put this in here, and if we look at the CMS filter here, I said this was going to be like a tutorial, but here I am kind of talking about it. But anyways, on this collection here, we have the CMS, the FS CMS filter element equal list. So that's the list that's going to be filtered. And if we look at the form itself, then we have CMS filter element filter. So these are going to be the filter. This form is going to be the filterable items. And if we look in the drop-down collection, our first one here, let's go in this drop-down again. We need to actually show it. We have this collection list here, and it's the checkbox label, which we're filtering by this text alignment. And then if we go into the actual form here itself, I created this field, filter text alignment, which is display none, but this is the filtering by text alignment. So there we go. So now we're just going to have to copy this and keep doing it for the other ones. So again, let's take a look at this. Or actually, filter section. So we're going to want to throw in another section here. We're probably gonna do lots of other different things here to help with our layout and our our whole look and feel. But for now, filter section. Okay. Let's copy that. Let's paste it in here. So this is layout, but this is going to be image and I don't like the image and video. I don't know if we say not so much alignment, but what did we say in Figma? Just layout, image and video. Oh right, I have to do another subheading as well too. Yeah, we'll work on that as well. So maybe we can just let's keep it at image and video for now. Maybe look at this letter spacing, and we never want it to break at all. Keep all. No wrap? Yeah, definitely want no wrap. Okay. So, and we're going to throw in another collection because we want to add the items that we're going to be filtering by. And this one's going to be the media alignments. And if we go in here again, we're going to add a checkbox. And we're just going to, this is media alignment. And do we actually have this? What do we have this for? This is text alignment. Oh shoot. This is one thing I don't like about working in this drop down is that we have to press kind of show and hide here. Okay, so for this, we're not going to call it checkbox 2. We're going to call this, well, the text, I should say, is going to be what the media alignment is going to be. And, right, and we want to align this, or let's go into this collection. Let's look at our filter, or sorting. And I think we want to sort by created on. Right, left, center, right. That's what we want. Okay. So that's good. I want... Right. Probably we should probably assign some classes to this, but we'll worry about all the design stuff later once we get things sorted here. Okay, so now let's go to identifier. We need to create an identifier so we can filter these by. So we need to add a custom attribute. We're going to paste that in there, and this identifier is going to be, we're going to call it media alignment. Oop. Nope. Media alignment. I wanted to copy that. And then we need to go into here. We actually need to create a new text field. We're going to call this filter media alignment. Let's copy that one. We want that to be the actual class name. And we are going to give it, we need to look at the media alignment and use that name there. Okay, so you can see in the database, I haven't done it for very many of them. I haven't actually updated all the components, but I did a couple of them just so we can kind of see here. So this one's display right, just to make sure we can test to make sure everything's working. So on this element here, we need to add our custom attributes again. Let's go here. So it knows what to filter by. And we go, and this is media alignment. I didn't spell that right, so it's not going to work. Okay, so that should be good. So we're going to publish this on our staging, and we're going to test to make sure that it's actually working. Oh, one thing we should have done is we should hide this as well, because we don't want that to show. So if we refresh this here, so if we go to our filter, so if we go display left, now it's showing nothing. Display center, nothing. Display right, there's this one here, that's display right. So that's perfect. And I know the layout one is there's an align left, and that's working as well too. So sweet. So we have that filtering ability working, which is really, really cool. Now, this one is going to be, okay, we've got to do another one here for columns. So let's do that one for columns. And the other one here is going to be a little bit different, this elements, because it's going to be multi-reference. Because it's a multi-reference field, because each component can have multiple elements. So I think the filter is going to be a little bit different. So I can't remember exactly how that's going to work, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so drop down toggle, right. Let's show this here. I think sometimes this gets a little, there's a lot going on inside these things sometimes. So we just got to make sure we're putting things in the right place. App form filter section. Copy, and paste that here. And this is gonna, I guess, columns. And then we're gonna go into a collection list again. And we're gonna throw in a checkbox. Well, it's not gonna let me before until I connect. So we're gonna connect it to collection. What's going on? Where's settings? Oh, here we go, source. Number of columns. Excellent. So again, I think we're just going to use checkboxes for everything. I know we have it in here where the layout is left, center, right, but why not just have it all checkboxes just in case, I don't know, if you want to, I don't know, just if you want to sort by all of them, then go right ahead. But I think also giving the ability to undo things is pretty nice. So this is going to be, I want to call it number of columns. Right, and our label here is going to be the number of columns. And let's filter this. No, sort. Alphabetical. I think again, created, I did the 1 through 6. So yeah, there we go. We might have to delete 5 and 6. I wonder if you can filter by if that one is even being referenced in a collection. That would be interesting because I know there's no 6 columns or there's no 5. It'd be nice to be able to, like, can we filter? You can just filter by name. I bet if we did something where it's the number of times it was being used, if we did that dynamically, then we could show and hide. I don't think that's really too important to do at this stage of the game though. Okay, so once again, we need to filter on this information, attribute, and then again, number of columns. And then we'll go in here again. And we're gonna add one last text block. And we're gonna call this one, well, go on it, Control Enter, and go filter I guess number of columns. Enter. And all right, custom attribute. So we go to settings and oh, no, right. But we also need to have the text. The text here is going to be number of columns and the name. Perfect. Oh, this one has 2 columns. Great. So we can actually see that. And custom attribute, paste FS CMS filter fields, and we're going to say number of columns. Perfect. But of course, we want to display that one as none. Okay, let's publish this one. And yeah, publish. So that should be working. And say 2 columns. Right, these 2 are 2 columns. Perfect. One, oh, well, obviously 2 columns and display left. Align left. Whoop. Align left. Display right. Yep. So filtering is looking good so far. Well, I mean, it's working. It's not looking good. That dropdown looks horrible. Don't worry, we will fix that eventually. Okay, so the last one we need, and well, there's 2 of them here. This has interactions and attributes. Because that one's going to be a little bit different because we're not going to be referencing a collection, which is okay. So we're just going to have to manually code that in for what those attributes are going to be for what it's searching for. Okay, let's do the elements. Let's do the elements now because I think that's going to be the hardest one. Yeah, let's go in here. We got to go into our dropdown again. App underscore form. Filter section. Copy and paste this. And if we go into settings, we should be able to put the text elements. All right, let's go into our drop-down C. Okay, elements. So we're going to go in here. We're going to throw in a collection. The source is going to be elements. And I mean, we're also going to want this to be in a checkbox. So I mean, we're pretty straightforward here. Everything's kind of pretty straightforward here. Okay, so we have elements for our checkbox. And our label is going to be the actual name of the element. And I know for this one, let's just do it right now, sort order. I actually do have a sort order. There's nothing on it just yet, but in the database, but that's how I know I'm going to want to sort them. Because I don't want them to necessarily be in alphabetical. I probably want them to be in the ones that are the most common. And we'll know through that once we get our mix panel data that we're collecting through how many components are being copied. We'll know kind of which ones are the most popular ones. Okay. So we have that. So the question is, though, how do we compare it when we go into here? Because I think what we need to do is we need to have like a multi-reference collection or put another collection in here. So like in here, so let's go put in another collection, and this is going to reference the elements, which is a multi-reference, right? So within here, we're going to have a text block. And then that text block is going to be the name of each element, right? I mean, is it as easy as this? I think it might just be as easy as this. We can do the same thing with the filter. So it's just going to identify all of them. Let's give it a try. Maybe I was thinking, oh, well, yeah, who knows? Maybe it's going to be as easy as this. We'll call this elements or element. Maybe element, because it's just one. And then we need to go to our actual label. Is this the right one? Down 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is the fourth one. And we're going to paste that here and call this element. Okay. Well, let's give that a try. I'm not going to hide anything here just yet. I know it looks bad, but let's just see if this works. Hopefully it works. All right, let's refresh this. So we can see this one has like button, list, icon. So if we go to our filter and let's go button, it looks like it's working. And this one has a form, but this one doesn't. So if we go form as well, oh, but this one also has a button. So it's not going to eliminate. It's not going to be what, this isn't showing which one has a form and a button. Right? It's not a or, it's a and. Because if I uncheck button, it's just going to be the form, right? If I do icon, right. Does that make sense? I guess it does, because you want to say, It's an and versus an or filter, right? Because sometimes I know when you select multiple things, like say, because if you filter, say 3 column, yeah, so okay. So it's an and when it's within each, like when it's one of these filterable sorting things. It's like, I want an element that contains this or this or this or this or this or whatever. But then when you have a column, but it says also and it has to be a 3 column. But this is like and it's 2 column and 1 column. Well, 2 or 1 column, right? So or's here and then and's between the two. So that makes sense. And I think I don't mind that. So that's it. That's actually pretty, this is not too bad at all, actually. Okay, so what we want to do is, well, let's call this, well, this is filter underscore like element. But this whole collection here, we're just gonna, hide, because we just don't want to see that one as well. Or instead of doing that, should we just call this one filter element? I mean, then this one doesn't need to have that class. So then we just kind of know, we kind of keep it consistent that these are all the filterable things. Or we could almost put this in its own, all these things in its own, like a div, and then just hide everything. Yeah, it's fine. It's gonna display very weirdly here for these ones that don't contain anything, but that's okay. All right. So let's look at our filter thing here as well. Let's show this. Okay. Let's just do a little bit of layout stuff here, and then we'll do this part here down at the bottom. So basically we have 2 columns in here, and in this one it has 3 columns. So let's put this layout and elements, let's wrap those together in something. Okay, so we have, I think it's these 3 in one, and okay, and let's wrap everything in one class. So let's just, you know, I gotta be careful with class names here. Let's just kind of use a bit of a generic class for now, and then and we'll fix it later. So just say form, not wrapper. Yeah, wrapper. We'll just do that, and we'll think about naming the classes later. Kevin, how you doing? Good morning, good morning. Good to see you. Bright and early today. We've got a hard stop in about an hour. Yeah, so I figured I'd wake up this morning and try to get this filtering stuff all taken care of. At least most of it anyways. Oh. Sorry, that was my buzzer. Somebody's here, probably with a delivery. Turn that Bluetooth off. Okay. Oh. One second here. Hey. So there was just a buzzer, so it might be the delivery for something important. Yeah, you might want to just check it out or just make sure no one sees, as you know, right? Yeah, okay, bye. Hello? Oh my goodness. Someone just called again at the buzzer. I don't know if they can't get in, but yeah. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's get to work. Okay, so this wrapper, right, it contains these 2, and we want to flex these ones, yeah, that way. Correct. Okay, so this one we're just gonna call this one F. Let's just say it's the layout. And, well, these ones as well, we want them to flex that away. This whole drop down, I don't want to do open, but this whole drop down, we want to give it padding on all sides. Maybe something like that. That might be too much. What does it look like in our, yeah, maybe it's something a little smaller like this, maybe even just 1. Actually, it's like the sides might need a little bit more. Okay. Instead of flex, actually, let's do a grid instead. I think a 2-column grid would be nice. Give it some spacing in the middle. And and I guess what would be the best way here? Why are these things? Yeah, if we give them each a width, right? I think that's not how we wanted to do it. This one, we did it. Yeah, each were their own specific width. I think, right, so we don't want to give it a width here. What we want to do is make sure that these things don't break. So we go to word or break whatever and no wrap on all of them, on all of these checkboxes. In fact, what we need to do is give these a class. Oh, it already has a class here. We'll call this, F checkbox label. And those labels are going to, again, where's the no wrap. There we go. So this is going to be the same, F underscore checkbox label. F underscore checkbox label. Same thing with this one, F underscore checkbox label. Okay. So let's go back to here. So this is this layout, which has these three. What is this? Oh, this thing is, that's really annoying. I mean, if we give it a Z index, it's not gonna, is it gonna go over top? I think this is always gonna go over top no matter what. I guess we're just gonna have to deal with that. Okay. So this whole thing here, it's a grid, only need one row. And so here we're going to have a spacing. What's going to be our spacing here? Okay. The one thing I don't know about this Dropbox or this drop down is making it 100% width. It seems like I can't do that, which is really strange because I want it to go this whole width. Because I know if I go to if I go here, I know its position is absolute. But even if I full screen it like this, it just gets all weird. So, but if I put this at 0, which means, I guess it's 0 from here, but I thought it's 0 from its parent element, which is this app component wrapper. It's weird. Yeah, which parent is it relative to? So, I mean, it should be relative to this whole thing here. So 0 makes no sense to me unless it's going with this thing. So unless it's saying it's relative to this toggle, which we don't want it to be. So maybe this is, if we put that to static, it's not helping. That's not helping. This dropdown is also relative. Okay, there we go. If we put that to static, but then there's issues with this drop-down icon, which is gone. I can't even see it anymore. Okay, and then this thing. Okay, now we need to really mess with this thing here. Okay. Okay, well that works. So then what we want to do then, what do I want to do? So let's go into this collection. Let's give it a gap. Actually, you know what? I would love for this one here. I want this one to be, or this collection. I want this one to be 2 columns. But how do I break it down nicely? Because I don't want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we flex it, let's see what happens. Nothing. Because I don't want to flex that. I want to flex the whole container. Okay. Let's give it a max width here. Let's just see what happens. Okay, that's not good. Oh, no. If we go like this and then we make it wrap. Yeah, so this is the problem. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think what we can do, oh, hang on. Let's give it a grid instead. It's going to have 3 rows, 2 columns. And 1.5 in the middle. Or actually, no, let's unlink this one. Rows 0. And try the direction button. Can we? Oh, we can. We can do this for all of them, can't we? Or no, can't. Like from when it was flex. Yeah, because I was thinking that we can either just put something in the database where we can just change, what its sort order is. Or if it is flex. But the problem with it being flex, then I can't have them. There's not the nice spacing in between. It gets all weird. So if we go back to here. What's going on here now? All right, just wasn't big enough. So if we go here, I think what you're saying, try the direction button. Flex direction. So, right, if it's down, it's to the left. But if it's down and then looks like, See, what I was thinking was when you're not flex, when you're in grid, you can specify which element is within which grid. And I think you can do that with flex as well. You can do something where it's like the order. Yeah, here we go. So this one, but it's different because it's through a collection. I don't think you can actually individually specify individual things, because how would Webflow know how many items are in a collection? Well, I guess it should. Well, no, it wouldn't. Because this is the item here and this is the order. Like that's what's repeating within here. And then I don't think we could do it this way. I think what we're going to need to do is, okay, let's just get rid of all this stuff. Do it as a grid. Do something like this, and then just go into our columns and add plain text. No, let's do number. Let's add a sort order. Save that. And then, so this is 1. This is 2. 3. 2, 3. Yeah, 4. and 5. And 6. I think this will be what we need. Let's find out. So collection, sort order. We'll do sort order smallest to largest. There we go. So that gives us, what happened? Oh, I clicked out of the filter. All right, so that solves that problem. Now, this one here. I'm going to say F, these are the elements. And if we flex this one, something like this. Right, and then we go F, elements item. Maybe, see, this is the problem. If you give them a width, then I guess we're gonna have to know what the widest one is going to be. Something like that. Yeah, I mean, that's not looking too bad. And then the height of this thing should end up responding to the height of the, like of the drop down, right? So I think we're looking pretty good. And this guy, yeah, we want to make sure we have the right gap. And yeah, if it needs to get bigger, then that's just what will happen. Or if, I mean, if, whatever, this, depending on the number of elements, it's just going to respond nicely. So we're good there. Although now, this miscellaneous thing, should it go at the bottom or should it just be like on this side? That's going to be a trick, because here it looks like this is going, like it's pushing down a lot further than this, right? Okay, let's clean up our class naming a little bit here because things have gotten a little bit out of hand already. So we have FRAP, and then we're just going to rename these, I'm sure. And I'm just going to even rename this one to just F section. And this will just be F section heading. What is this F layout? This is flex. This is also, I mean, I don't think we want this to be flex, do we? It shouldn't make a difference. But still, let's just keep it empty for now. And I know we do want to have a tag. Oh, shit. That's right. So I'm just thinking here that this part here needs, we need these larger headings here, and then these are subheadings. So these are the subheadings, which is fine. We're gonna have to wrap this around in another class. Oh, I hate having too many divs wrapping around here, but we might not have a choice because this one has everything on both sides. So this has this layout. Yeah. Whoop. I have to do something like this. And this here is, what do we call it? Layout, right. Yeah, this is layout. And then this is called text alignment. Right. So this is going to be F section. I'm just going to call this section title. And section heading. I mean, stupid. Yeah, I know. Please don't yell at me for really bad class names. I just want to. Yeah, we'll get the layout and then we'll figure out appropriate class names. And let's look at the look on here. Yeah. This one is going to be 16. So we'll just keep it at 1. But our weight is going to be bold. And we are going to neutral 900. Let's give it a little bit of a margin here on the bottom. That might be, that might be a little bit too much. Okay, this one here, 0.875. And then also here in this text, you are going to be 0.875. And our margin on the bottom here. Right, and actually this one, I think it should be a little bit more. This is actually a section title. F underscore section title. There we go. And I wonder now, should this be 2 columns? The column gap is quite large too. What if it's closer? Actually, why? There's some padding that's going on here. Where is that padding coming from? It's this thing here. Why is its width? Oh, because it's in a grid. And that grid has to have a specific width. All right, so if I close that, that's what, there we go. All right, that was left over from when I was playing around with Flex. Okay, so that's fine. So this is just gonna be F. Filter columns. And here we can have our gap. There we go. Just trying to think, let me see. Text alignment, elements. And now you start clicking. Yeah, I think what we'll do is for these other ones, like this miscellaneous, I think we'll just put it below the layout. I think that'll be just fine. So if we go in here, I think we'll just copy another one here. And we'll just call that, I don't even know what to call this one. And then, right. And then we just put the checkboxes. So again, this one is going to be, we're going to have to do this manually. And I think for now, we want to do free and versus free and also interactions. All right. So has interactions. This is going to be F checkbox label. And the sorting for this one, so we need to know, so which ones have interactions? Let's just say, okay, accordion basic 1. Let's go to that one. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Where am I? I wanted to go to here. Components. So let's say, okay, already, okay, this has interactions and it's freemium. Okay, perfect. So I think that just in the same way as all these other ones is we just need to be able to, we just need to put it here somewhere so we can filter by it. And I don't even know what we can do for that. Components. Right, this is different. So we don't even have access to whether something is free or not, or whether it has interactions. So how do we filter by that? What I mean by that is if you go into our components and we go to the interactions or to the accordion, like the has interaction is freemium, that's just a toggle. So can you filter on a toggle? Oh, look at, when creating a toggle, there's one change to implementation. Oh, that's if we're creating a toggle. Oh. Ah, perfect. Oh, it's just repeating. I thought we were watching more. Okay. So perfect. Okay. I didn't think about that. Just put it in a into an embed. Okay. So delete that and let's go an embed. And we want to add, not featured, freemium. And then I guess we'll save. So we'll just call this filter premium. So we got true and false. So this is where it's a little bit different. So maybe we should make it like a toggle. Like the button should be a toggle as well. Because, well, what is it? Yeah, because the checkbox is just Oh, it's on the whole input field. Right, because it still is a checkbox. Right, right. So let's go back to here. Let's see. Let me just show. Right. So if we go, like it's whether the checkbox itself is selected. Now, is it on the actual checkbox or is it on? Oh, it's on a div block setting. Or well, all, no. Yeah, it's on the actual checkbox. So, which is what we're on. Okay, perfect. So here, again, it's the same thing. It's blah, blah, blah. Filter field. It's still the same thing. I think it's still the same as this one. Yep. So, okay, this is awesome. And we're going to call this interactions. And then we're going to do the same thing here. Custom attributes and interactions. Did I spell it right? Interactions. Right. Okay, let's publish this. Oh, I have the label wrong. I have it as if it's premium or not, but that's okay. Okay, so filter has interactions, right? But this is, of course, if it's free or not. Perfect. Okay, easy peasy. This is not bad. This is a lot easier than. Well, I mean, I didn't think it was gonna be too difficult, but this is nice. It's nice when things go kind of smoothly. Although we're gonna have to design this and we're gonna have to implement this on two more pages. Because this is on the dashboard page, we're gonna need to do it on the components, on each individual components page, and this all page as well. Which I think, yeah, this components page. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, it should be exactly the same thing. I'm pretty sure the code is the same, which is nice. Okay, let's get back to here and let's look at our filter again. So let's just change this one because this is premium or is free? What I can't remember now what we have. Let's look at our components. Is freemium. Okay, right. So show only free components. Right. Okay. And now let's roll this up in roll that up in a div, and let's create another checkbox. Actually, this checkbox, we're going to name this freemium. And this one we're going to name interactions. And if I go back here to this checkbox, I need to change this identifier from interactions to, let's just say, free. Freemium. And then we go back to, where are we? This whole collection. Where is it? It was an embed somewhere. Please tell me I didn't embed it in here. Oh, it's right here. Oh, I have it in this call to action, which we don't want it. We want it right here. I think is good. Put it behind here. Filter premium. Okay, and one more embed. I think this is going to be the last one. And this field is going to be has interactions. And we'll add the attributes later because we don't have any right now. Or is that false? I think we might with the accordion now that I think about it. Has interactions. Right. Close. So filter interactions, or just maybe interaction. Settings. Failed. Interaction. Nice. And go up into our filter. Attribute. Paste. Interaction. I spelled that wrong. Interaction. Spelling is important here. And then we have has interactions. And this is going to be F, checkbox, label. All right, I'll put this one first. This one, I think if we go F layout, that'll be fine too because we want it kind of floated this way. Okay. And these filters, of course, we want to hide them. We'll just put none on these instead of, we don't need to combo class these guys, I don't think. All right. Publish these. Refresh. All right, filter. Only free components. That's wrong. So what did I do wrong? Here's the drop-down icon. What did I do wrong? I think, hang on. Let me think. Right, I didn't change. This is interaction. I didn't change this. This should be premium or freemium. I can't remember what I called it. If we go to our filters, actually, we might even be able to just take a look from here. Interaction, and the second one is freemium, right, with a capital F. There we go. That should fix it. That should fix it. Okay, refresh. Filter. Only free components. And that has interactions. The only problem with this filter, as you can see right now, guys, is you have it open, but then you can't see anything. Right? Like, it's just so in the way. So that's not good. That's actually really bad. Like, yeah, like this is really bad. I mean, one thing that we can do is make it so that it's not absolute, right? So that it actually opens up. Like, and here's what I mean by that. we just position it like static, right? So it's part of the flow. Yeah, no, static when it's open. And then if we give it a little bit of a margin, oh, not 21, geez. So if we look at it this way, when we open, yeah, that's much better. I think that's much better. Oh yeah, Kevin. Yeah, can it push down the content instead? Yeah, 100%. It just makes much more sense that way. And then of course, if we can animate it nicely as well too, that would be nice. Can we look at the drop down? Oh, it's just a closed delay. You can animate. Oh, see this. I don't know if you can animate these drop downs. I guess we could make something completely custom, but whatever. This is fine for now. We don't have to worry about getting too crazy here. So if we go back to this button here, let's take a look at what we have here. So there's an icon here that's getting in the way. Why not just leave the filters on all the time? No drop down. I feel if we were going to do that, we would want to put the filters on the left side menu here. The reason why I wouldn't want to or I'd be hesitant is the amount of space that it takes up on screen. Because I feel like we're going to have more elements. Hang on, let's deploy this here. Let's have a look. So this filter is open. You can only see 2 items, not even 2. You can only see like 1 row. And wait, what? Okay, I'm at, well, here's at 100%. And this is a big 4K monitor. So if we go to, I don't know, like a standard monitor, let's, not Windows, just screen resolution, display settings, there we go. So if we go here, can't I, where's the properties? So if I put it to say something that's, what's the most common, like 14 whatever, I don't even know. Let's just, I mean, we're designers here, but let's say 1920 by 1080. So if we keep it here, oh, it's actually, wow, it's actually showing a little, it's not that bad actually. But again, you're only seeing 1, like, I don't know. This one, you're only seeing 2. So yeah, it's a good point. It's something to consider. I mean, we can have it starting, like it can be open, but then the users can close it. Yeah. The way that I like to think about an interface, though, is you only want to show the user stuff that they're going to use like pretty much 100% of the time. And everything else is kind of, should be very easily accessible, but, you know, like with 1 click, but not kind of in your face. So not everyone's going to want to filter all the time. At least, well, I mean, I don't know. But generally speaking, something like filtering is not something that everyone does. It's almost kind of like a power user kind of thing. Honestly, I think this would be something that would be testable, or that we should test to see, like we do like some kind of A/B testing. It's an interesting something to think about. Where are we? Right, resolution. Let's go back to something that I can see better. Clarity. Okay. We're also missing, where did I put, maybe it's at the bottom. Oh yeah, this thing. We have to figure out how this is going to work as well too. Because this is just, what is this showing? Count items in the element. Value 3, right? So I think it's just counting how many things. Well, what does it say? Here's 12. But if we filter, it still says 12. Right, so it's not updating. So I think we need to use a count. I think we can do a count here. Results count, right? Or items count. Maybe we can just get by with this. Let's try this one. Oh, that's just a product count. Well, let's create a new one. And items count. And let's paste this one. But this is going to be results count. Results count? Did I get that right? I don't think I did. Let's just copy it. All right. Let's have a quick look there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about this, displaying the filters all the time. Maybe then there's different ways that we can lay it out so it's even smaller and taking up less space. I don't want the interface to be too busy / intimidating for people either. All right. So we got 12, displaying 12 of 12. So it's only showing how many things are actually loading up here in the, like in the results, or in, sorry, it's only showing the total number that are being displayed here in this collection. And I do believe that this collection, we have it set to only show the first 12. No, it's limit 24, but there's only 12 that are actually featured because it's just filtering by which ones are featured. So if I go here, yeah, this is showing 2 of 12. So again, it's showing 12 of the total number that were loaded. So this one's a little bit different because the dashboard itself is actually, maybe shouldn't have a filter, because that's just showing the featured items. Or do we even need a dashboard now? Here's another thing. I think the reason why I have a dashboard is there's functionality that's like 20% built, and that's giving each user the ability to favor or favorite a component. And that's going to be displayed on your dashboard. So we do want to keep it. We just might not have the ability to filter on the dashboard. But if that's the case, then when they first log in, we should take them to the all components page, to here. So you can see all of them and then start filtering and going to town. Yeah. Should you be able to filter when you're on here? I guess we still want that as well too, eh? Yeah, we do. Because when we're on this layout page, you're just showing those components. So we can still filter on those based on those components. Okay. All right. Okay, we're a little messy here. We're all over the place. Let's finish. Let's finish designing our drop down here, and so we can kind of maybe focus on one thing at a time here. Okay. I don't even know if this position needs to be static anymore because this layout is going to be. Well, it's not. It's this one's static as well. So. Mm-hmm. Right, let's go look at this here. Can I not change its name? Maybe because it's open. Yeah, that's right. Okay. We'll just call this filter button. 0. Mm-hmm. Dun, dun, dun. Going to bold it. Maybe even semi-bold might be better. Actually, what kind of button should we have for this filter? I mean, our buttons and pixel pieces. Let's go to pixel pieces here. Let's log out. Basically have black, and then when you hover over them, they become blue. So maybe we can make it similar to that, where we'll give it a border. But we're going to give it a neutral color. I mean, do we make it like a full pill button? We might. Yeah, no, I'm not liking that at all. Not at all. No borders. Let's try this instead. Let's try giving it a fill. And I'll make it white. Basically like this all access, which I really like this button. 0.325, 0.4. 0.425 probably. And 0.1875. 1825, 0.325. Whoops. That might not be too bad. Something like this. Might need to change around, play around with the colors or what have you. This is filter, drop down. And let's open it. So this whole thing, what are we going to do with you? Your background is going to go for white. We'll give you border radius as well. I think everything else is 1 rem around the edges. I mean, that's pretty much it. We don't want to go too fancy. Oh, why do I do this all the time? We might want to give it a little bit of a padding up top so it's not touching that filter button. And inside all of here, our collection lists. I think we want to just play around with our spacing here because they're a little too much spacing. Leo, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? I started a little bit early today and I don't have too much time, so I'm probably going to be going for about another 5 or 10 minutes or so. But hey, better late than never. So, right. What do we have with these collection lists? I don't think we have anything. Okay, so let's... yeah, no, doing well. Thanks for asking. Yeah, just hanging out, plugging away, working away. Same old, same old. Let's... what should we do? Maybe if we just did the line height. Actually, this one... We're going to play around with these because we're going to make custom buttons or custom checkboxes as well. In fact, we're probably just going to copy the checkboxes that we have on Pixel Pieces. Where are they? We'll just copy these ones. Or no, these ones. Well, I guess whichever, if we want rounded corners or not. But the point being is, yeah, we're going to have custom checkboxes and... yeah, I guess we can worry about the alignment once we get there. But that being said, I do think we want to do something here. F. So filter, like collection list. There is no margin, eh? Because obviously if we filter them down like this, we can give it a gap of 0. But yeah, even if it's -5, yeah, can you even do minuses? No, you can't, not with gaps. So there's just something on these checkbox fields which have, right, it has this margin here. So if we give that 0, that's kind of what we want to do here. So I think we can just go F checkbox field, I guess. We'll just keep it the same. And then we'll say that with a 0, and then we'll do the same thing with all of these ones. F checkbox field. Whoop. Right. All right. And this F layout, let's just give this one a margin bottom. That's too much. Whoops. Okay, well, it's a starting point anyways. Yeah, I'm still not sold on how this all looks. Maybe we can have it fill out this whole thing and maybe have it look like its own section where we could just not have it on white, but we just have a line here at the bottom. Yeah. And then it looks like it's its own little contained section. Yeah, maybe that'll look better actually. That might look better. Then we have to figure out what its positioning is going to be because this app content has a padding. So we might just want to, well, I guess what we can do is, if we just show this again for a second. What we could do then is, I think it's positioning. I think we could go minus 2.5, right? And then we can add 2.5 to, no, I guess, ooh, yeah, we can do that way as well. And then we give it a background color of our background color. And then we give it the proper padding. I think it's 2.5, yeah, right? And then we give it a border on the bottom. Just something like that, right? So when you hit the filter, we got to make it look a little bit more clear, but actually I like this. I think this is kind of nice. So it makes it look like it's more part of the UI. I don't know. It just feels better. And we got to do something about all this white space. And if we can figure out how we can make this smaller, then maybe, Kevin, we can have it so that it's always being displayed. But we just have to be careful because we'll just have to be careful. Yeah, it might be nicer to have it always open, depending on how people want to work. But I think it might make sense once we get to the like really high number of components, right? Maybe it does make sense. Thinking. Then we could trim down the number of headings and titles and stuff. Yeah, lots we can do. Okay. we'll think about it and see what we can do and move forward from here. Okay. So we're at 11:30 now. So unfortunately, I do need to run. Go back here. But everything's working now for the filtering, so that's good. So we just really need to work on the whole design of the whole thing and how it's going to function, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of more of the fun stuff. That's all fun. I don't know. I like going in there and tinkering around and playing around with things and making them work. So I'll think about, just after I come back from wherever I'm going, I'll come back and work on it. And tomorrow, by the end of the week, for sure, we'll have this filtering functionality pushed out to production. So you guys can test it out and check it out and let me know what you think and see if it's actually working the way that you would intend it, especially with the and or complications where it gets a little bit different depending on where you're filtering, whether it's within one checkbox group or across the different checkbox groups. So that is a little bit weird in terms of how it filters, but I don't think there's much we can do about that. It's just going to be like, well, that's just how the filtering works. And then that's where the documentation, I think, will come into play. Once that actually gets created, which we'll need to make time to do that as well. Lots of stuff to do. And of course, we really need to get going on social media. Rolando, he's not here, so he's not going to be too mad, I hope. But that stuff's probably going to start happening next week once we get this stuff kind of finalized and out of the way. All right. So Kevin, Leo, thank you so much for joining. As always, much appreciate the support. And everyone else, hope you found this enjoyable, or if not, maybe educational if you're trying to figure out how to get CMS filter working for you. But again, check out that video that I mentioned about, from FinSuite. They did like a phenomenal job of just explaining how the whole filtering works. So that video pretty much taught me everything that I know about CMS filtering. So check that out. We're going to say goodbye. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, I'll be back here again tomorrow for a brand new live stream. All right. Take care.